Here with Superintendent Tom Horne, the issue of DEI has been in the news quite a bit recently. The federal government is requiring us as a state agency to certify that no schools are following DEI, and that deadline is coming up. What does that mean?
Okay, so the federal government is saying that all the schools have to sign a statement they're not doing DEI in the classroom. It has no business there. And if they don't, then they lose all their federal money, which is significant. We're talking about Title I money for poorer schools. We're talking about special ed money and so on. And so that's what came from the federal government. Now, I'm totally in support of it. I've been fighting the predecessor of DEI, which was critical race theory, since 2008. And when I got a law passed by the legislature to put a stop to it, I put a stop to it in the Tucson Unified School District. Then when I left as superintendent to become attorney general, things kind of fell apart, but we're fighting that fight again. And this is the philosophical basis. I think the most interesting philosophical division in our country is between those who believe, as I do, in individual merit, and those who would substitute racial entitlements. The problem with racial entitlements is they do nothing to encourage hard work, conscientiousness, or creativity. So if we move to racial entitlements, we'd become a mediocre country. China would become the dominant power in the world, and they'd be running the world, if you can imagine a world like that. Critical race theory. So I fought that fight back in 2008. I felt like a voice in the wilderness, but when the TV stations started referring to critical race theory as CRT, I figured the world was catching up with me. They changed the name to DEI, but it was still the same thing, which is to emphasize people's race and give favoritism to some over others, rather than treating people as individuals. When I was in high school, I went on the March on Washington, where Martin Luther King gave his famous speech, wanting us to be judged by the content of our characters, not the color of our skins. That's been my strong belief my whole life.
There are critics who have said, well, we are complying, or other elected officials in the state have said that this is out of our scope of responsibility, but we are the agency that passes through federal funds. We must follow federal guidance, and in this case, we happen to agree with it,
yes,
correct?
When you said individuals, were you referring to the Attorney General?
Yes.
We enforce law that the federal government tells us to enforce. We have no choice, but I strongly agree with it.
Okay, and as always, with more information, azed.gov. Thank you, Superintendent.
Thank you.